Imagine building this beautiful app without writing a single line of code. Prototype and create all of these smooth interactions and appealing animations from your phone. Enter edit mode by holding two fingers on your screen, where you can modify and edit any layers of your app. Hi everyone, my name is Willie and I am a front-end developer from Design Plus Code. Welcome to Design and Prototype an App with Play. Play allows you to design apps with native elements. It will be really easy to create your own app without any coding skills. It means that you don't need to be familiar with HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. This amazing design tool includes built-in native iOS components, animations, and interactions. Create high-fidelity micro-interactions and complex gestures such as panning, dragging, and advanced scroll triggers. In addition, your team can collaborate in real time on your design system via the web. You can also import your design from Figma, but in our case, we will start everything from scratch. You can share it with a simple URL, and it is available for iPhone, iPad, and desktop. We are very pleased to announce that the Play's macOS app will be released early next year. The app will be available for download from the Play's website and will allow you to do everything from this course as well as additional features. This course is entirely free thanks to Play's sponsorship. In this course, you will learn how to create this beautiful prototype designed by Axel Vedi from Design Code. First, we will learn about layouts, which is very similar to Figma combined with SwiftUI, meaning that it is a design tool where you can add iOS native components. We will tackle custom components, such as these three cards, to create animations and some interactions, such as scroll, pan, and tap on the liked button, and the image carousel. We will create this amazing sidebar menu animation using states, transformation, and sequence animation. Another creative way to animate your app is using Lottie animation, and we will use this technique on the tab bar. We will use more of the native iOS components such as the map, some navigations, and also the date picker. Every container in your layout can flex based on the amount of content you add. Similar to Flexbox in CSS and Stacks in SwiftUI, you can add content and adjust the directions, gap, alignment, and distribution. When you are done creating a new layout, you can choose to make it into a component so that it can be reused elsewhere in the project. If you decide to modify the component, the modification will apply to all the other instances. Only components can have states. We have the favorite button, which has a default state, and the liked one will make the button pink. And if you go into interactions, you can see that this button has a toggle tap interaction, which switches between default to like and the second tap from like to default. We will also build the detail screen from scratch. To follow this course, you need to download the assets file, which includes the images, as well as the Play app from the App Store. You need a device which is compatible iOS 15, iPad OS 15, or a Mac with Apple M1 chip or later. I will also share the link to the Figma design file in the description below. Play has tutorials on specific techniques on their Explore tab as well as on their YouTube channel, so I highly recommend and watch these videos. This is the end of the intro. I hope that you are excited to build this beautiful app with me, and let's get our feet wet. Let's talk about layouts and components. Layout and components are two of the most important things to understand when creating a mobile app. Layout is the overall design of your mobile product. It's how you place elements on a page, screens, and arrange images and choose colors. The layout guides users through your app from start to finish so that they can find what they're looking for easily. Components are elements that make up your app's design. This includes things such as buttons, forms, icons, and even entire screens sometimes. As you can see, we have two screens. On the left side, this is QuickTime connected to my phone, where this is mainly for editing and creating the app. You will see the pink circle, and this is basically my finger where I tap or swipe. Then we have the right side, which is the Play application, and we will be using the Play app mainly for previewing our project. So when we change something on our phone, it will show and display on the app. The first step is to create a new project. After logging in, you will see this page, which is completely empty. For me, I have the final project of this course. First, let's tap on the plus icon on the top right and name your project. I will name it Play Course. Then we have a project. So tap on it and you will be presented with the Pages screen. This is where you create new screens. So let's tap on the plus icon. As you can see, Play made a fantastic job for providing us with components and pre-made screens for different kind of apps, such as entertainments, maps, settings, and more. In our case, we will start with the blank one. Now that we have the first screen, so let's click on it on the first page, and let's just enter preview mode. To follow this course, you can either do it from your phone, from an iMac or MacBook, which is compatible and has a M1 chip. You don't need both. First thing first, let's rename our page. At the bottom right, click on the three dots icon, rename page, and I will call it the home screen. The editor has three main sections. The first one is the layers. To access it, tap on the left indicator. This is where you will find all the layers and elements, very similar to Figma. And at the bottom, you will also find the options to move layers around. So move up or move down. After you have selected a layer, such as the page, the inspector panel will slide from the bottom of your screen. And this one has four main sections: the settings, the layout, appearance, and interactions. Finally, tap on the right indicator to add a new element. And this is where you will find the three different tabs: Elements, Components, and Play Library. Elements are basically your views in SwiftUI. This is where you will find the stacks, text, images, SF symbols, buttons, and native elements. Components is where you'll find your custom components, and the Play Library is where you will find the pre-made components or native iOS elements, such as the avatars, badges, and even controls. So first, let's add an image, and in settings, you can tap on the first one, and in here, you can upload your own image with the plus or use Unsplash over here. I already have the first image, so I will choose this one. By tapping on the image 1, you can rename it Image. In Layout, I will set the height to 278. We will keep the width at 100. Then in Appearance, I will set the corner radius to 22. You can use the quick preview feature by holding your finger on the screen, just like that. On the Play app, you can see that we also have the image, which means that everything that you do from your phone will be translated to the other devices. With this image, we're going to create an image carousel, which is a very popular UI that you will find in almost any apps. You can easily recreate this UI in Play. Let's add a stack H. Then, in Layers, just drag and drop the image under the stack. You can double tap on the stack, and I will name it Image Carousel. Then select the image, and here I'm going to duplicate it twice by tapping this icon. And with only these settings, you can already swipe to preview the interactions. Let's change the two other images. In Layers, select Image 1, and in Settings, let's choose another one. You can also tap here to switch to Image 2, use Unsplash, and search for Villa Room, and select this one. So with that, we have a very nice carousel. To make things more interesting, we can also add effects. So in Layers, select the image carousel, and under Effect, you can scroll to, let's say, Scale, and now you will see a different transition. And there's multiple ones that you can choose, such as Fade, Fade Scale, Cover Flow Inverted, Pile, and Perspective. In our case, I will choose the Fade and Scale. When this is done, select the image carousel, and in Layout, I will set the height to 278, and in Appearance, I will set the top left corner radius to 22, and the top right to also 22. For the booking card, very similar to SwiftUI, we have to add a stack V, which is a vertical container. Double tap, and I will name it Booking Card. Then, in Layout, I will just drag and drop the image carousel under it. On the booking card, the height to auto because we want the height to be dynamic to the content. In Appearance, keep the background color to clear and set the corner radius to 22. Right below that, click on Border. On the plus, we will set a 1 point white color at 10% opacity. And right below the borders, we have effects. So let's add a drop shadow. Here, the offset X will be to 0, offset Y to -40, blur to 40. The color is black at 30%. Let's pass to the info section. Select the booking card, and we're going to add a stack V. Let's rename it the info section. In settings, we'll have a gap of 20. Then in layout, the height set to auto, and paddings top 24, right 12, bottom 24, and left 12. On the margin, we're going to set the top to -60. That way, the stack will be on top of the images. Then in Appearance, we're going to set the corner radius to 22. In Borders, let's add a 1 point white at 7%. In Effect, let's add a background blur. And here you can choose between regular, light, extra light, dark, or prominent. In our case, I will be using the dark one. Next, let's add a text. In your info section, let's add a text element. Make sure the text is inside the info section. I will rename it Country Title. Play makes it easy to customize your own design system, even for text. In Type, you can see that it has all the native iOS text styles. We can even add a new one. I will click on the small plus, and let's set the style to bold, the size to 20, and I will rename this Title 3. dash bold. So here we can slide to title 3 bold. On the text, I will set it to Toronto, Canada. The color is white. So while selecting the info section, let's add an H stack. And in settings, we're going to set the gap to 16 and the distribution to space between. That way, it will automatically give the same spacing between each items in it. I will rename to container, and in layout, I will set the height to auto. While selecting the container, let's add a stack V. Let's rename this to info container. In settings, I will set the gap to 4 and distribution to start. For the layout, set the height to auto. And inside the info container, we have two text elements. So I will tap the text twice, select text 1, rename to subtitle. In settings, I will name it cost. The type is caption 2, and the color is the system gray. Next, we have text 2. I will change this name to description. Change the text to $200 CAD/night. Set the type to footnote and the color to white. Between each info container, there's a separator. Select the container, then I will add a stack H, and I will call it separator. This component will have a height of 30 and a width of 1 point. And in appearance, I will set it to white at 10% opacity. So here we don't see it because the info container has a width that takes 100% of the screen. So here, let's set it to auto. And now we can see our separator here. We're going to reuse the separator multiple times during this project. So to make it reusable, we will make this into a component. So in layers, select your separator, and here tap on the cube icon. You will know your layer is a component when the title is in pink. To modify a component, tap on the pink cube next to your component. This will open the components screen. The changes you make here will apply to all the instances of that component. So let's close that, open your layers, select the info container, and let's duplicate it. We're going to move that new info container right below the separator. The UI of the second info container is very similar to the first one, but on the second row, it has an extra icon next to the text. Go to the info container, and let's add a stack H. I will name it container. Add your description in it. And here I will add an extra SF symbols. In layout, move the symbol up. So first, let's take care of the container. In settings, let's set a gap of 4. Let's move to the SF symbols, change the icon to mapping, and choose a second one. Set the size to 13 and the container size to 16 × 16. Let's add a new color. Let's rename it to the actual hex color code, which is 37 FAFA. When this is done, save, and make sure to choose the color. On the container layout, instead of using 100%, we're going to use auto. And now let's change the text. So here it had a gap of 4. Description, we're going to change it to 257 kilometers. On the subtitles, instead of cost, it's going to be distance. Next, go to layers. Let's duplicate the separator as well as the info container. And let's move the separator in between. Select the last info container, and this subtitle is going to be available. The icon is a calendar, and description is going to be a date. So October 24 to 26. The next component that we're going to work on is the notch. And to do that, we need to upload our own images. First, you need to go on app.createwithplay.com, log in, and click on your project. For us, it's Play Course. You can see all the colors that you added, the type, spacing, and more. At the bottom, you have the images. So let's drag and drop all the asset folder that is provided. You will find 4 icons, the notch, and a layer blur. For the SVG, upload the 5 icons. When this is done, let's select our booking card and let's add a stack H. Let's rename it to notch. In settings, set the gap to 4 and distribution to center. In layout, set the width to 156 point and the height to 37 point. To be able to place one element on top of the other, we're going to use the pin tool to top center. In appearance, set the background color to clear, and for the background image, we're going to select the notch. And this is how we accomplish this effect. In that stack, we're going to add 2 elements. First is an SF symbol, and the second one is a text. So let's take care of the SF symbol. Search for star, and we're going to select the star.fill. The size is 12 point, and the container size is 24. The color is going to be the teal. Then we have the text. This one is going to be the rating. So 4.1, parentheses with the amount of reviews. The type is footnote, and the color is white. Next, we're going to create a favorite button. So select your booking card, and we're going to add a stack. I will rename it to favorite button. In settings, set the distribution to center. In layout, set the width and the height to 36. I will set pin 2 to top right, so you can see our button over here with the green layout. For the margin, I will set the top to 20 and the right to 12. Next, go to appearance. We're going to set a new background color. So let's add. I will rename this one gradient and the hex code of the 2 colors. So the first one is 22283E. Then we have 17, 18, 27. Select the linear. We want our gradient from the top to bottom, and let's pass on to the color. So the first one is 22283E. Select the second one, set the opacity to 100, and the hex value is 17, 18, 27. Save. Close and select our new gradient. We're going to set the corner radius to 40. In borders, set a 1 point color white at 10%. In effect, add a drop shadow with offset X to 4, offset Y to 4, blur at 10, with black at 20%. Next, we have to add the icon in it. So select our favorite button, add an SF symbol, search for heart, select the heart.fill, set the size to 18 and the container size to 24. Set the color to system gray. Let's talk about states and interactions. Only components have states, which allows you to create seamless animations. When you have created the animations, we will use gestures as triggers to change between these states. For example, let's take the favorite button. The current one has the inactive design. So first, let's make it into a component. Tap here, and this is the states screen. You'll see that the favorite has a default, and you can add a selected, highlighted, disabled, or a custom one. Let's tap on a custom state. I will name it tapped. While the tap state is selected, we will change some of the properties. So in appearance, let's change the background color. I will add a new color. I will rename it gradient. The first code is FA4788, and the second one is E41B63. Select the linear from top to bottom, and the first color is FA4788, and the second one is going to be E41B63. Set the opacity to 100 and save. Now select the pink color and let's set the SF symbol to white. So it seems like the favorite button is now outside of the booking card. So I'll just select it and put it back in, and let's move the favorite button just like that. So currently this button is in a tapped state, and in default it's going to look like this. Now that we have two states for the favorite button, let's add a tap gesture to switch between them. In interactions, add a trigger, and we're going to select the toggle tap. The difference between the tap and the toggle tap is that the tap gesture is a single action and the toggle one has two. We're going to add the action on the first tap, and in here you can see that there's different types. Ones related to the pages, components, objects, elements, transform, and more. In our case, select set state. The target is going to be our favorite button. The start state is default and the end state is tapped. Right below, we have the animation properties. Set duration to 0.5 and ease in to ease in and out. On the second tab, we're going to do the opposite. So set state, the target is still the favorite button. The start state will be tapped and the end state will be default. Set the duration to 0.5 and easing to ease in and out. To test, we need to enter preview mode. So we can tap on the play icon on the top right. And if you tap on the favorite button, you can see that it is working. You can also hold two fingers on your screen to exit preview mode. On the Play app, let's reset it. And you can see that it is also working. We will add some meat to the home screen. So first, let's change the booking card into a component. On the page, let's add a stack V. I'm going to name this stack Card Container. This stack will contain our cards. In settings, set the gap to 40. In layout, keep the width to 100 and the height to auto. So it takes the full height of our content. For paddings, top to 64, right to 16, bottom to 32, and the left to 16. Then in layout, you can add our booking card inside the card container, and let's duplicate it twice. You can see that it automatically scrolls. To make it look nicer, we're going to change the first image of the second card. So inside the image carousel, the first image, let's change to another one. So let's say, for example, this one, and the third one as well. And there you go. We have a beautiful scroll container with 3 cards. To remove the scroll indicator on the right side, let's select the page, and in scrolling, let's disable the auto. We're going to keep the vertical scrolling on, but disable the vertical scroll indicator. And now we have a nice scroll. Since the design of the app is in dark mode, we need to change some settings. So let's say, for example, set the correct background color. While selecting pages, go to Appearance, let's set a new background color. Let's rename this one 1718 2B. 1718 2B. Now save. Then select the correct background color. And now you see that it fits a lot better. One of the problems that I see is that when you enter preview mode, you will soon realize that the status bar isn't very visible because it does not contrast well with the app's background. And to fix this issue, let's go to settings, and here at the bottom, you see the status bar. So we're going to set this one to light. We have a layout that looks a lot more like an app. And let's talk about custom search bar and segmented controls. The top of the home screen has a diamond-shaped button with a search bar, and right below is segmented controls. To make the button, we will use a regular stack with a corner radius and rotate it. The search bar is created with a text field. And finally, we will make a custom segmented control. So let's add a stack. I will name it the search bar container. This stack will basically contain the diamond button as well as the search bar. In settings, I will set the gap to 4, keep the distribution to start and the alignment in center. In layout, set the width to 100 and the height to 104. Just here in layout, I'm going to take the search bar container and move it up. So here for the paddings, I will set the top to 60, right to 16, bottom 0, and left 16. And we're going to set the pin to top left, because when we scroll the cards, we still want to keep the search bar fixed at the top. To keep the search over the cards, set the depth to 11. In appearance, set the background to the background color. So still in the search bar container, let's add a stack V. I will call it diamond button. And in layout, I will set the width and the height to 44 point. Right below, set the paddings to 6. Next, we're going to add another stack in that stack. And this one is for the background. So the background will have a width and a height to 100%. And in appearance, set the background color to a new one. This one is going to be white, but at 10% opacity. Just drag the color picker to white and now drag it to 10%. And then save. Right below, add a corner radius of 10. And in borders, I will add a 1 point white at 10%. The UI will look like this. So to turn it, in Layout, 3D Transform, I will go to Rotation Z and set this value to 45 degrees. just like that. Now go back to your diamond button and let's add an F7 symbol. This one will have the icon of a list bullet. So the fourth one, I will set the size to 15 and the container size to 32. The color of the icon will be system gray. Then go to layout and I will set pin 2 to center. And the UI will look like this. Make sure to make it into a component because we will be using this component a lot. So select the diamond button and make it into a component. Next, we will design the search bar, which will sit right next to the diamond button. So let's go to the search bar container, then add a stack H, name it search bar. In settings, set the alignment to center and distribution to space between. In layout, set the width to 248 and the height to 42. In paddings, set the top to 10, right 16, bottom 10, and left 16. In appearance, we're going to select this background, the one with the gradient 22283E and 171827. Corner radius, set it to 30. Then we're going to add a border. 1 point, white at 10%. The search bar contains 3 elements, 2 icons and a text field. So let's first add a SF symbol. The first one is a magnifying glass. Set the size to 16 and the container size to 24. The color is system gray and it should look like this. Then let's duplicate it. And the second one, we're going to change the icon to mic fill. The text field element is a really important UI that allows the users to enter a text into a UI. And let's add a text field. In layers, make sure your text field is between the 2 icons. Let's change the placeholder text to where to. Add a new type for the footnote bold. So here I will select footnote bold. The color of the text, which is when you type, is white and the placeholder is system gray. Make sure the alignment is centered, and at the bottom you see that there's multiple options. You can even censor what you type. In layout, set the width to fill width and the height to 42. In your preview, let's reload it. You see that when you hover over the text field, we can type something. Similar on your phone, go to preview and you see that the keyboard is showing. A problem that I see is that when you scroll, you can see that the search bar container, it's not sticking or fixed at the top. To fix that, let's exit preview mode by holding 2 fingers on your screen. And by selecting the search bar container, go to layout and select pin to page. Now, when you scroll, we have the search bar container at the top now. And the last step is to make sure that our search bar is also a component. We will make our own custom segmented controls. It is a very common UI alternative to radio buttons and drop-down menus. They allow users to make a single selection from a set of 2 or more options and are very easy to use on mobile devices. We're going to add a stack for the container, so stack V. I will rename this stack the segmented controls container. Then in layout, make sure to have it right below the search bar container. In layout, I will set the height to auto, set the padding to top 128, right 16, bottom 0, and left 16. We do want this UI to stick at the top, so we're going to pin to top left, pin to page enable, and the depth to 10, so it's still below the search bar container. If you need a quick UI, you can always go to Play Library, scroll down and go to Tabs, and here you see that we have segments, which is a pre-made component from Play. So in segmented control container, make sure that the height is in auto. In preview, you can see that you can tap on the other tabs, and this is what a segmented control should look like. In our case, we will create a custom one to fit the design. So let's select this one and delete it. Then we're going to add a stack H. I will name this one segmented controls. For the width, I will keep it at 100, and for the height, I will set it at 54. In settings, set the gap to 40. In paddings, I will set it to 16 to all sides. Then in appearance, we're going to add a new background. It's going to be a gradient. The first code is 313A5B, and the second one is 21273D. Choose linear from top to bottom. The first color is 313A5B. Then select the second one, opacity at 100, 21273D, and save. Select that color. Then let's set a corner radius to 20 and also add a border. Here it's going to be 1 point, and I will add a new color, which is 8576DC. It's going to be a solid color, so 8576DC. And save. Select the purple at 20%. Each button in that segmented control has an icon and a text. So by selecting it, let's start by adding an H stack. In settings, set the gap to 4. I will name it control button. Then in layout, I will set the width to auto and the height to auto as well. Then in that container, I will add an SVG. Since we will use custom icons and not from the SF symbols, let's use the SVG element so we don't lose any sharpness. In settings, for the SVG, we're going to select the cabin. And in layout, I will set the width and the height to 24. Next, let's add a text. In settings, we'll have the text cabins. The type is going to be footnote. And the color is system gray. In layout, make sure the width and the height are at auto. And we have our button. In the demo, tapping on the button moves the dot to that location. The dot indicates which selection you are on. So select the segmented controls and let's add a stack. I will name this stack the dot container. In settings, set distribution to center. In layout, I will use 20% and the height to be 6. Then I will use pin to bottom left with an offset left of 16 and the offset Y to -8. Like that, this container is right below our actual button. Next, in that container, add another stack. Rename this to dot. In layout, set the width to 4 and the height to 4. In appearance, we're going to add a new color. It's going to be a gradient. The first code is 9DDFF3. The second one is 0F54E8. Make sure to select linear from top to bottom and set the first color. So 9DDFF3. Then select the second one, opacity to 100, 0F54E8, and save. Select the newly created color. In corner radius, set it to 16. And then in borders, set the point to 0.5, the color to white at 20%. For this animation, we want to move the dot to the tapped button. On the Control button, go to Interactions, and we're going to add an action to our tab trigger. When you move down a bit, you see in Transforms, we have Set Position X. This one will target our dot container. The type is Position X to Object. Start X is the current value, and the object is self. On the animation, set duration to 0.5 and ease in to ease in and out. Then we're going to add a second action. This one is set width. The reason is because not all buttons will have the same width, and if you want to center the dot to that button, we need to change the width. The target is also the dot container, width to object, duration 0.5, and ease in and out. Then we're going to duplicate this control button 3 more times. Enter preview mode, and when you tap on the other ones, you can see that the dot follows where you tap. So now let's change the icon and the text to the other buttons. For the second one, I will select this, and the text is going to be hotels. The third one, I will select this one, and the text is pool. For the last one, I will select this icon, and the text is camping. With this new UI comes a new problem. When you scroll, you can see that the cart appears above the segmented controls now. And to fix that, we're going to use a mask. Select the page, and we're going to add a stack H. I will name it mask. This layer, I will put it right on top. In settings, I won't change much. Then in layout, we will set the height to 150. Right below, set pin to top left with a depth of 3. I will also set pin to page, and in appearance, we're going to set the color of the background. So now when you scroll, it fixes the problem. Make sure to select desegmented controls and to make it into a component. Let's talk about tab bar Lottie animation. To complete the home screen, we will create a custom tab bar. The tab bar is a fundamental UI element of any app. It allows users to navigate through your app. To make it even more compelling, we will animate the buttons using Lottie animation. Let's start by adding a stack H, and I will name it tab bar. In settings, set the alignment to top and distribution to space around. In layout, keep the width to 100% and set the height to 88 point. Then add a padding top of 4. Set pin to bottom left and pin to page with a depth of 10. In appearance, we're going to add a new gradient. The first code is 31395B and the second code is 21263D. Select linear from top to bottom and set the first color to 31395B and set the opacity to 70%. Then select the second one and set this code to 21263D and set this one to 70% as well. Then select it. For the corner radius, I will set the top left to 24 and top right 24. In effect, we're going to add background blur and select dark. Let's add another one. For drop shadow, I will set to outer, offset X to 0, offset Y to 10 with a blur of 20, color black at 30%. Next, we will design the tab button. So first, select the tab bar. Let's add a stack V. I will name this tab item. In settings, make sure the distribution is center and the alignment is center as well. In layout, set the width and the height to 48. Then, in that tab item, we're going to add an image. In settings, we will select one of the icon, which is the location one. In layout, set the width and the height to 48. Right below, set pin to center center. On top of the icon, we will add a Lottie element. So select tab item, and here let's add Lottie. In settings, in Lottie files, you can use a sample ones, or at the top, you can input a URL to upload your own. In our case, we will be uploading our own. Instead of putting the URL from the iPhone app, I will be doing it through the iPad OS app. So here, Lottie files, and I will paste the link and click on enter. I will put the Lottie links in the description below. When this is done, select the Lottie. At the bottom, we're going to set loop to none and reset on complete, disable it. We're going to set the width and the height to 48 point and set pin to center center. Now enter preview mode. And now you see that the animation is playing at the bottom. You can also see that the icon and the animation aren't the same size. So to fix that, go to Appearance. I will use Scale to 120%. In Layout, set the Offset Y top to 1. You can see that in Settings, the autoplay is on, which means that when you go into Preview, it will play automatically. And now it looks a lot better. Then we're going to make the tab item into a component. I will be using the iPad OS to do so because it will be easier to upload each Lottie animation. Then duplicate it 3 more times. And now we have something that looks a lot more like a tab bar. Let's enter preview. and the 4 animations are showing. So now let's change the icon and the Lottie animation. On the second one, let's change the image to the plane. On the third one, change it to the favorite. And the fourth one for messages. When this is done, let's upload the second Lottie. Do the same thing for the third one. And the last one as well. Let's preview it on the phone. And you can see that all the animations are working perfectly. Now that it is a component, we have access to the states. So the goal is to tap on the button and then to hide the icon while playing the Lottie animation. So go to your tap item component screen, and when you tap on the component, here in default state, we can add a new state. I will name it tapped. And in that new state, make sure to select the icon, and in layout, in 3D transform, we're going to use the rotation Y at 90 degrees. And in appearance, set the opacity to 0. So in tapped state, we are hiding the icon, and in default, we are showing it. Select the Lottie, and we're going to disable autoplay for both states. So default, but as well as tapped. Then save. Instead of showing the Lottie on autoplay, we will use interactions to play the Lottie as well as changing the default state to the tap state for each tap icon. So first, let's make the tab bar into a component and access the components screen. In total, we will be adding 8 different actions for each Lottie animation. So to make things easier, we will rename each tab item by adding a number right next to it. Then select the tab item 1, Lottie 1, and let's go to interactions. And in here, let's add a trigger. It's going to be a tap trigger, and the first action is going to be the elements Lottie controls. This will target self, which is the first one. Playback will be play. You can use paused, toggle, or stop. Start frame to 0, end frame to 150. Set the loop to none, and disable reset on complete. Which means that now, in preview, when you tap on the first icon, it shows the animation. By doing that, we also need to add another Lottie controls, but this one will target the second Lottie. We're going to play the 0 frame and end with the 0 frame as well. We are lucky that the frame 0 of our Lottie animation is an empty canvas. Animation set to 1, loop 0, and reset on complete disabled. We're going to repeat the same step for the third and the fourth Lottie. When this is done, we're going to add a fifth action, which is set state. This one will target tab icon 1. The start state is current state, and the end state is tapped. The duration is 0.5, and easing to ease in and out. So now, in preview, let's reset it. When we tap on the first icon, it hides the icon while playing the animation. And when we tap, right now it doesn't show, but it will stop the audio animation if there's one as well. Using the same logic, we're going to set the other 3 Lottie to default. So set state, target the second tab, current state to default, duration 2.5, and ease in to ease in and out. And repeat the same step for the third and the fourth one. When this is done, we can basically tap on the more icon next to tap, copy actions, and now we can copy paste to the other Lottie. So let's close the first one, open the Lottie of the second one, add a tap trigger, and in here we can paste actions. But the play one, instead of targeting the first, make sure that it is on the second. That means that the second one, it's still targeting the second, so we're going to select the first. Similar for the set state. This one will be the tap 2. And we're going to reset the tab 1. Now let's go to the third Lottie. Let's add a trigger, tap, and paste the actions. Now on the first one, make sure the target is the third one. And on the third, we're going to select the first. Set state, target the third one. And on the third, target the first one. If it is confusing, make sure to pause and redo them slowly. Now select the fourth Lottie, add a tap trigger, copy the actions, make sure the target for playing the Lottie is the fourth one. Now go to the fourth and select the first. In set state, select tab item 4, then select the fourth one, which selects the tab item 1. When this is done, save and enter preview mode. Tap on the first one, it plays the second one, third, and fourth, and you can see that the animation is using the pin, so the location animation, but also it does not reset the first one. So let's fix them. Select the tab bar, select the first Lottie, interactions, and this one seems to be working. Let's go to the second one, and you can see that here it plays 0 to 150 on the second. So let's select it and set the frame to 0. Go to the third tab item, and we have the same issue here. So set end frame to 0 And for tab item 4 is the same. Save. Let's enter preview. The animation is working fine, but we still have the issue with the location animation. So let's exit preview mode, go to the tab bar's screen component. While selecting the second tab item, select the tabbed state, select the image, and here you see that it's the location one. So let's change that to the plane and put it back to default. Select the tab item 3, select tabbed, and the image will be a heart. Put it back to default. And the fourth one, in tabbed state, select the image, and we're going to select the message. Now save, and let's enter preview mode. Now the preview is working fine. The only thing is that we want to load the first animation when you load the app. So let's select the tab item 1, set the state to tabbed. On the Lottie, make it to autoplay. Now done. So when you go to preview, the first one appears, and now the rest works as intended. Let's talk about sidebar menu animation. We will first design the sidebar menu and then animate it. We will create a transition in which we will take the current home screen, scale it down, and transform it on the right side of the screen. This will leave some space on the left side for the sidebar menu. So let's add a stack V. Let's rename it Home Container. In settings, make sure to set the alignment to center. And in layout, we will set the width and the height to 100%. For the paddings, set the top to 32 and the bottom to 180. Pin 2, set it to top center. In appearance, set the background color to 1718 2B. The corner radius to 24. The container will hold all the current elements on the screen. So in layout, make sure to drag the mask right inside the home container, the search bar as well, the segmented controls, and the card container. But make sure the mask is at the top. Then we have the search bar, and then the segmented controls, and at the end, the card container, in this order. You see that nothing really changed, but we do see a scroll indicator on the right side. So let's select the home container. In settings, go to scrolling, disable auto, set a vertical scroll, and disable the show indicator. This is much better. Now, let's update the background color of the diamond button first. So select the diamond button. In background, select a new appearance, and we're going to add a new gradient. Rename it Radian. The first code is 0 F54E8. And the second one is 9DDEF3. Select linear from left to right. Then let's set the color. The first one is 0F54E8. And this one, put it at 10%. The second one, the code is 9DDEF3. Also set it at 10%. Then save. Now select that color. Now let's take care of the second state. So select the page. Let's add a custom state. Name it Show Menu. Now that we're inside that Show Menu state, we're going to apply some transformations to the home container. In Layout, select the home container, just move it above the tab bar. And in here, in Layout, 3D Transforms, we're going to apply some transformations. First, set the perspective to 130, move X to 265, move Y to minus 150, move Z to minus 150, and rotation Y to minus 30. And now the home container looks like this. For the height, we're going to set it to 130% and set pin to none. In the layers, select the mask, and this one, we're going to hide it. For the search bar container in Layout, remove pin to page. For the segmented control container, we're going to disable pin to page, and the card container should be fine. You should be left with a layout that resembles this. We're going to select the diamond button, and we will also hide this component. As you can see, the background color of both layers are the same. So select the page, and here, let's add a new color. It's going to be a gradient, and the first code is 1623A. The second one is 394156. Select linear from top to bottom. So the first color, 1623A. Then the second one, 394156. And put it at 100. Save and select the new background color. In preview, you can see that it has a better contrast. So let's exit preview mode and make sure to select the default one and to also apply the new background color on the default state. Let's go back to Show Menu. We're going to remove the tab bar from the screen, but instead of hiding it, we will push it down. Select your tab bar. In Layout, set the offset Y to 100. When the sidebar menu appears, we also want to disable two different scrolls. The first one is on the page, and the second one is inside the home container. To do that, select the home container first. In Settings, set the scrolling to none. So then select the page, and we're going to do the same thing. Now, there's no more scrolling. Next, let's design the side menu. Let's add a stack V. I will name it Side Menu. In Layout, I will set the width to 260 and the height to auto. Add a top padding of 48. Pin to top left. The first element in that stack is the avatar. So while selecting the side menu, let's add a stack H, I will name it avatar dash close button. In settings, set the alignment to center and distribution to space between. In layout, add the padding left and right to 16. The width will be 100% and the height to auto. We're going to add another stack. And let's name this one the avatar container. This one will have a gap of 8, alignment center, and the width and the height will be set to auto. And in it, we will add another stack. And this one will be for the avatar icon. The avatar icon will have the alignment and distribution to center, the width and the height to 36. For the background color, choose the 22283E and 171827. I will set the corner radius to 40. And then for the borders, let's add a 1 pixel white at 10%. And for the effect, let's add a drop shadow, offset X 4, offset Y 4, blur to 10, and the color is black at 20%. While selecting the avatar icon, let's add an F-step symbol. For the icon, search for person.fill. The size is 24, and the size container will be 24 as well. The color will be white. And now you see that it does not work well. The issue is because the width and the height of the avatar icon changed. So let's set it back to 36. In settings, make sure it is center and distribution center. Right next to it, we will add the name container. So now we can close the avatar icon, and in the avatar container, let's add a stack V. And I will name this one name-title. You can see that we do have an issue with some alignment. So let's go to the avatar container in settings and set this to horizontal. So on the name and title container, set the width and the height to auto. And then we will add our first text. I will rename this to name. For the text, you can just write your own name. So for me, it's going to be Willie Yam. The type is a headline. The color is white. And make sure the width and the height are set to auto. While selecting the name and title, let's add a second text. This one will be title. For the text, it's going to be show profile. The type is footnote, and the color is system gray. Make sure the width and the height are set to auto. With that done, let's add a close button so we can switch between the default and the show menu states. Let's close the avatar container and select the avatar and close button. Here, I will add a stack H. I will name it close button. While selecting the avatar and close button, let's change the alignment to horizontal. go back to your close button, and in settings, set the distribution to center, the width and the height to 36. In appearance, set the corner radius to 24, and make sure to select this for the background color. Very similar to the avatar icon. Let's add a nefsaf symbol in it. The icon is the X mark. The size is 16, and the size container is 36. Set the color to system gray. Set the corner radius to 24. In borders, we're going to add a 1 pixel white at 10%. And we will also add an effect, drop shadow, with offset X at 4, offset Y at 4, blur to 10, with black at 20%. And then we're going to select the side menu and make it into a component. That way, on the other states, it will apply the same design as well. With that done, let's go to close button and let's add an interaction. Add a trigger, tap. For the action, it's going to be a set state. The target is the page, and we're going to pass from show menu to default. On the duration, set it to 0.7 and easing to ease in and out. Then select the page and let's go back to default. You can clearly see that the side menu is right below our home container. So for this one, we're going to set the offset X to -260. That way, during the transition, you will see a slight movement from the left side. Then select the diamond button and let's add an interaction. Add a trigger, tap, add action, set state. The target is going to be the page. The state is default and the end state is show menu. The duration will be set to 0.7 and easing to ease in and out. Now, let's enter preview. Tap on the diamond button, and now you will see a beautiful transition. Next, let's go to the side menu's component screen. And let's design the rest of the buttons on that list. First, select the side menu, and in here, I will add a stack V. Let's name it list. I will set the height to auto with a margin top of 24. Then let's add a text. I will rename that title. And the first text is account setting. The type is subhead 2. And the color is system gray. In layout, let's set some paddings. The padding left will be 16 and bottom will be 6. And it should look like this. Now let's add a button. In your list, let's add a stack H and I will name it menu button. In settings, I will set the gap to 16, keep the width to 100 and height to 52. For the paddings, I will add a top of 9, right 16, bottom 9, and left 16. For the background, I will add a new color. I will name it gradient. The first code is 21263D, and the second one is 21263D. Set it to linear from left to right. In color, this one is going to be 21263D, 100%. Then select the second one, which will stay at 0. Set the hex to 21263D and save. Now your button should look like this. Then let's add a diamond button. On the background, in appearance, let's set the background color to the 0F53E8 9DDEF3. This one. For the SF symbol, in settings, search for credit card and select the first one. While selecting the menu button, let's add a text. I will rename this to title. For the text, I will type payments. The type will be set to body and the color to system gray. In layout, make sure the width and the height are set to auto. Back to the menu button, let's add a spacer. This element will basically push everything and take the most space possible. Finally, add a SF symbol. I will rename this icon. For the SF symbol, search for chevron.compact and choose the right one. The size will be 15 and the container size is 32. Then set the color to system gray. And there you go. We have our menu button now. You can even preview it from the app. Let's work on the button state. So first, let's select our menu button, make it into a component, and let's access it. Now that we have the button, let's create a new state. I will name it tapped. And in the tap state, we want to change a few things. So first, let's change the color of the diamond button icon. Go to background, in appearance, add a new gradient. So let's rename this gradient. The first code is 0F54E8. And the second one is 9DDFF3. Select linear from left to right. Let's select the left one first. This code is 0F54E8. And the second one is 9DDFF3. Make sure to set it at 100% and let's save. Now let's select this color instead. For the SF symbol, set the color to white and the text as well. Go back to the menu button and let's set a different background. Let's add a new color. Name it gradient, and this one is 0F54E8, and the second code is 0F54E8. Select linear from left to right. Let's set the code. So 0F54E8 at 100%. On the right side, we will input the same code. So 0F54E8, but keep it at 0. Now select that color. So now you can see the difference between the tapped and the default state. Now click done and let's test it. So let's put it back to default and go back to the components screen. While selecting the menu button, let's add some interactions. On the tap trigger, let's add an action. It's going to be set state. Target is self. Start state is default. And the end state is tapped. In this case, we're going to toggle the invert other instances. This option allows you to reset all the other same components to its default state that are in the same stack. That way, we won't have two menu buttons that are in the tapped mode at the same time. Set the duration to 0.5 and ease in to ease in and out. And let's click on Done. On the iPad OS app, let's test it. So let's open the side menu and let's click on the first button. And as you can see, it works. Between each menu button, there's a separator. So for this component, we will use two different stacks which will have a opposite gradient. Let's select our list. Let's add a stack H. I will name this separator. It's going to be the menu one. In layout, I will set the width to 100 and the height to auto. Then in it, I will add another stack. For the width, I will set it to 50%. And the height will be 1 point. In background, I will add a new color. It's going to be a gradient. The first color is D6, D2, EA. The second color will be the same, so D6, D2, EA. Select linear. This one is going to be from left to right. The left one, D6, D2, EA, and set it to 0%. Then on the right side, let's set D6, D2, EA at 100. Now save and select that color. In the preview, you will see we have something like this. So in opacity, I will set it a little bit lower, around 20%. And now duplicate this component to have a second one. In preview, you will see this. But on the second one, in layout, set 3D transforms rotation Y to 180 degrees. And now we have a beautiful separator. Let's make it into a component. With that done, let's continue with the layout. In layers, we will duplicate the titles, buttons, and the separators until we have the final design. Select the menu button. Let's duplicate it and put it down. Select the separator menu, duplicate it, put it down, and let's do that 2 more times. Now we have 4 menu buttons. Select the title, and here let's put it at the bottom. We're going to add 2 more buttons and a separator. Let's add another title and 2 more buttons. Until you have something that resembles this. So let's select the first menu button and let's go to the SF symbols. I will change it to bell. And make sure that the tapped state also has the bell. Then we're going to the title, and I will change the title to notifications. Let's go back to the menu button, in tapped, in titles, and set it to notifications. Now let's select the second one. For the icons, it's going to be the credit card and the payments. So we can jump to the third one. The icons is the character A, and the titles is translate. I'll go back to the menu button in tapped, and let's change the icon to the character A and the title to translate. Make sure to always put them back to default. On the fourth one, it's going to be lock.shield, and the title is privacy. Now in tapped, let's change the icon with lock.shield, and the title is privacy. Here, we can change the title to hosting. The first button under hosting, the icon is the list.bullet. Let's select the list bullet rectangle portrait. The title is listing. Let's set the same one on the tapped. Let's change the title to listings. Then right below is going to be person.badge.key, and select this one. The title is hosting. In tapped state, we're going to do the same thing. So person.badge.key, title to hosting. And here for the third title, it's going to be more. This button will have SF symbol moon.stars, and I will use the fill one. Title is a dark mode. In tapped, don't forget to set the same icon. Title to dark mode. And finally, the last one is arrow counterclockwise. The title is updates. For the second title and the third one, we're going to add a padding top of 16. So our side menu looks a lot better now. Let's test our side menu on the iPad OS app. And here you can see that we have a beautiful menu that is working. As you can see, we do not have two menu buttons that are in the tabbed state at the same time, thanks to the invert other instances option that we toggled earlier. In the design, you can see that the notification button doesn't have the arrow, but a notification bubble instead. So here, you can select the menu button and tap here, and we can detach instances. By doing that, you will keep the default design and can change elements in it. Let's select the SF symbol and let's delete it. Instead, let's add a stack V and let's call it notification bubble. Set the alignment and distribution to center. For the width and the height, let's set it to auto. For the paddings, set the top 2, right 8, bottom 2, and left 8. Then set the background to blue with a corner radius of 10. In that stack, let's add a text. The text will be 12. The type is subhead 1. And the color is white. In appearance, let's set the opacity to 70. So let's set the icon back to the bell. Similar to the notification button, the dark mode one does not have an arrow. So select the dark mode menu, detach instance. Let's put back the SF symbol to the moon.stars. And here we will add a different styling similar to the tapped one. So on the SF symbol, set the color to white, the title color to white, the background of the diamond button, we will select this gradient, and then let's select the icon and delete it. Instead, we're going to search for the switch. So in native, scroll down, and here we can select a switch. With the switch, there's different options. You can set if the state is turned off or turned on. You can also change the color of when the state is active. For us, I will choose this one, and I will keep it turned on. In layout and appearance, you can also change other options. Finally, to finish the side menu, one fun way to animate a sidebar menu is by using a sequence animation, which means that each buttons will come in view one after the other. To do that, we're going to press done, then make sure that the page is in default. The show menu should still look like this, but in default, the side menu is hidden on the left side. What we're going to do is we will set the offset X of each menu button to -100 point multiplied by its order, which means that here we're going to search for the first menu button, which is this one. In layout, offset X, let's set it to -100. Then we're going to search for the second menu button and set this one to -200. Look for the third one and let's set it to -300. Look for the fourth one, -400. For the fifth one, -500. For the sixth, -600. 7, minus 700, and the last one minus 800. So now go to preview, and when we pop the sidebar menu, you can see the beautiful sequence animation. Let's talk about map and drawer animation. In this part, we will design the map screen. The screen will contain the native map as well as the drawer component. First, let's create a button to navigate to the map screen. While selecting the page, add a stack V. I will name it Map Button. In Settings, set the alignment and the distribution to center. The width is going to be 100 point, and the height will be 36. Pin to bottom center. Toggle a pin to page with a depth of 10. To position it above the tab bar, I will set the offset Y to minus 106. Then, in it, let's add another element. Go to native, and we're going to add a button. I will choose the medium one. I will remove the 1. For the button, we will set the size to custom, so I will put it to small for now. The button style will be filled, tint to clear, and only toggle the text. For the title, set it to map, and the type to footnote. In layout, set the width to 100 and the height to 36. By putting those values, you'll see that in settings, the button size is custom. In appearance, set the color of the title to white. The corner radius will be custom and set it to 24. Let's add an effect, which is a background blur, and set it to dark. Let's select our map button and add a new component, which is the diamond button. For the diamond button, I will set the margin left to minus 14. Also pin to center left. Set the depth to 5. Then select the background. We will set the background color to clear and also add a background blur effect. Set this one to dark. When this is done, go to the F7 symbol, and we're going to set this icon to a mapping and ellipse. Here you can see that we have the positioning wrong. So let's go back to the diamond button and let's set the left margin to minus 14. The map button is currently clipping the content of the diamond button. In appearance, on the map button, disable clip content. On the icon, I forgot to set the icon's background color to white. And there you have it. Select the map button and make it into a component. With that done, let's add the interactions to that button. While selecting the page, add a new state. I will call that open map. Then go back to default, select the map button, add a tap trigger with a set state action. The target is the page. The current state is default and the end state is open map. Invert other instances so it does not conflict with the show menu. Set the duration 2.5, ease in to ease in and out. The main differences between the default state and the open map one is that we are replacing everything below the segmented controls by a map element and a drawer. So select your page, go to the open map. In layers, in home container, select the card container. In appearance, let's hide it. Now select the map button. In layout, set the offset Y to 48. That way, this button will be off screen. Similar with the tab bar, in layout, set the offset Y to 100 point. In home container, we're going to add a new stack, which is a stack V, and I will name it map container. Make sure the map container is right below the card container. Keep the width to 100 and the height to 730. On the offset Y, set it to 120. In that map container, we're going to go into natives and add a map. On your phone, you will have to allow access. And let's call it map. On the side, you'll see the pin icon. And when you tap on it, you can basically add multiple pins on your map. So let's do that and add a couple. And then save. In layout, set the width to 100 and the height to 730. In appearance, set the corner radius to 30. And here at the bottom, you can choose which UI style you want. You can have it at auto, dark mode, or light mode. For us, let's set it to dark mode. In settings, you will see that we have a lot of map options. You can basically set the starting location to one of the specific pin. So start location, instead of user, we can choose the pin. And you can also choose which one you want to start with. You have the altitude and you can also animate. With that done, let's close it. Select your map container. In components, let's search for the close button. We don't have it, so select your side menu. Select your close button and let's make it into a component. It seems like we have to access the side menu first. Then select your close button and make it into a component. On the map container, let's add the close button. I will use pin to top right. For the margin, set the top to 47 and the right side to 16. Just like that. In interactions, let's add a tap trigger with a set state action. The target is going to be the page. The start state is open map and the end state is default. Set invert other instances. Set the duration 2.5 and ease in to ease in and out. With that, we have a complete flow from the home screen to the show menu. And in show menu, you can see that we have the map button that we will hide. And we also have the open map. The open map, we have an issue here with the margin right. So let's fix that. First, let's select your page. Go to show menu. Select the map button. In layout, let's set the offset Y to 48. let's go to Open Map. The drawer is very similar to a modal, but it sticks to the bottom. By using the pen gesture, we will be able to open and close the drawer. First, let's close the side menu, the home container, select the page, and let's add a stack V. I will name it Drawer. In Settings, set the gap to 30 and the alignment to center. Make sure the width is at 100% and the height is at 700. For the paddings, I will add a top of 0, right 16, left 16, and the bottom 32. And pin to bottom center. Make sure pin to page is on with a depth of 10. In appearance, choose the gradient 31, 3A, 5B, 21, 27, 3D. So between the transparent and the purple. This one. For the corner radius, set the top left to 20 and the top right to 20. Let's add a border. It's going to be 1 pixel white at 20%. Let's add an effect, which is a drop shadow. Set the offset X to 0, offset Y to 10, blur to 20. The color is black at 30%. With that, let's add some elements in it. Let's put a stack H. The first element will be an indicator. In layout, set the width to 54 and the height to 5. I will add a margin top of 8. In appearance, set the color to white with an opacity of 30%. Set the corner radius to 16. It's going to look something like this. Right after that, let's add a text. So here, make sure the text is right after the indicator. Let's change the name to title. For the title, it's going to be 289 cabins. The type is subhead 2 with color white. Then let's add the component booking card 4 times. And with that, we have our drawer. Next, let's make it into a component. And at the bottom, let's add a custom state. I will name this show. Make sure to select the default one. In settings, we're going to disable the scrolling. And in layout, I will set the offset Y to 610. That way, we have the drawer closed. Now select the show. Make sure that the scrolling is going to be vertical and disable the indicator. So first, let's select the default. To allow the pen gesture, let's access the actual component. Now open the interactions. The trigger is the pen while panning. Keep the edge pen disabled. The pen direction will be up and down, and pen boundaries is going to be the screen. Because we will be dragging a lot, optimize for dragging should be turned on. Then add the action set state. Target is self. The start state is going to be default. The end state is show. Trigger direction is up. Duration, set it to 0.5 with the easing of ease in and out. With this interaction, let's go into the preview mode. And here you will see that you can pan it up. Now it is scrollable. Then you can pan it down and it will stick at the bottom. Now let's go see the other pages state. Open map looks fine. Show menu, you will see the drawer. So here, let's select the drawer. In appearance, we're going to hide it. And now it looks good. Let's go to the default state. And here, you also see the drawer. I will set the offset Y to 700. And I will also set the opacity to 0. And then, in the default state, when you scroll down, you will see the map container. Make sure to select it, and in appearance, we're going to hide it. Now, let's go in preview, and let's test the app. And let's talk about navigation and detail screen. In this part, we will design the whole detail screen. You will learn how to lay out multiple sections as well as the navigation. Let's go back to your project and let's add a new page with the plus button at the top right. Select the blank. Let's rename our page to detail screen. In settings, we're going to set the scrolling to vertical and disable the indicator. And we're going to set the status bar to light. In appearance, set the background color to this one, 1718 2B. In layout, we will set a paddings to 100, and this is a setup so the content is scrollable later on. The top portion of the detail screen is going to be the hero section. Similar to the booking card, the hero is a carousel of images. Let's add a stack H. I will name this hero sections. In settings, make sure to toggle paging to start, and the effect, set it to fade and scale. In layout, keep the width to 100 and the height to 444. We're going to pin to top center. Set the corner radius to 32. In that stack, let's add an image. Here I will remove the one. In layout, set the width and the height to 100%. And in settings, let's set the image. I will choose, let's say, this one. And in appearance, make sure to set the corner radius to 32. And now we can duplicate it twice with this button. And let's change the image. And now we have an image carousel. On top of the hero section, we will add the info container. Let's add a stack H. I will name it info container. In settings, set it to vertical. Make sure the alignment in center. In layout, keep the width to 100 and the height to 300. In appearance, for the paddings, I will set the left and right to 20. And a margin top of 240. In the info container, I will be adding a stack V, and I will name this one info card. In settings, set the gap to 30, the alignment to center. In layout, keep the width to 100 and the height to 224. In appearance, set the corner radius to 20. Then in borders, let's add a 1 pixel white at 10%. For the effect, let's add a background blur, dark, as well as a drop shadow. The offset X is 0, offset Y is 10, set the blur to 20, and the color is black with an opacity of 30%. While selecting your info card, let's add a stack H. Let's name this one to title container. In settings, set the gap to 9, and it's going to be a vertical. Alignment to center. We will set the height to auto and the width to 100. For the paddings, add a padding top of 20. In the title container, add a text. I will rename this to title, and the text is hosted by Trang. The type is title 3 bold, the color is white, and then we're going to duplicate this element, and I will change the text to luxury lifestyle. Right below, we have the info stack. So select the info card, and let's add a stack H. I will rename that info. In settings, let's set the alignment to center and the distribution as well. In layout, set the height to auto, and then let's add another stack in it. I will call it item. In settings, set the gap to 4 and the height to auto. In that specific stack, we're going to add an FSF symbol. Search for star.fill. The size is going to be 15 and the container is 16. And then set the color to white. While selecting the item, let's add a text. Let's remove the 1. I will set the text to 4.1. The type is subhead 1 and the color is white. Let's go back to the item, and in layout, set the width to auto instead. Between each info, we will add a separator. So go to the info stack. Let's add a stack H. I will name it separator. Set the width to 1 point and the height to 30 point. In appearance, set the background to white with an opacity of 10, just like that. So here inside of info, we have the item and then the separator. So go back here and we're going to add a gap of 12. In the same info, let's add another text. This time, it's going to be 1648 reviews. The type is subheadline 1 and the color is white. Then you can select the separator and let's duplicate it again. And this time, just move it on the right side. And lastly, for the info 3, select the item. Let's duplicate it and I will move it. Then Right below it, we will have a location container. Select the info card and let's add a stack H. I will name it location container. In settings, set the gap to 12. In layout, set the width to auto and the height to 44. Next, let's add a diamond button. Here, select the background and keep the background color to white at 10%. And the F-sub symbol is mapping and ellipses. In the same container, add a text. For the placeholder, you can choose an address, so it will automatically generate a placeholder for you. Then on the text, I will select somewhere here and just add a space. The type is going to be footnote and the color is system gray. On the button, I will set the background color to this one instead, so it pops more. Let's select our info container and in settings, set distribution to center. The only UI missing on the info container is the host UI. Let's click on it. And now let's add a stack V. I will name this host badge. In settings, set the alignment and the distribution to center. In layout, set the width to 92 and the height to 110. Set pin to top left. Set the margin left to 16. In it, we're going to add an image. I will rename this avatar. In your settings, set the image to any one that you want. You can go to Unsplash and into Portrait. For me, I will choose this one. In Layout, set the width and the height to 88. Set the offset Y to 4. In Appearance, set the corner radius to 64. And then let's add a border. We will set the size to 4 and set the color to this one, 29, 36, 55 at 100%. When this is done, select your host badge, then in settings, distribution to start. Then go into components and let's add a diamond button. First, we're going to detach from instance, and then we're going to pin to bottom center. Select your background, and here we're going to set the background to E122.5B. Select the SF symbol, and let's remove it. Select your diamond button, and let's add an SVG instead. Select our superhost icon, and then for the width and the height, set it to 100%. We're going to pin to top left. Instead of 100%, let's set the sizing to, let's say, 30 and 30. And let's try to center it. And there you go. Make sure to make it into a component. With that done, let's add some navigations to the app. So first, select your page and let's add a stack H. I will name this top navigation. In settings, set the alignment to center, the width to 100%, and the height to 96. For the paddings, add a top padding of 64, right of 8, bottom 8, and left 8. We're going to pin to top left and toggle pin to page with a depth of 10. In appearance, we're going to add an effect, which is the background blur set to dark. Then let's add some back button. While selecting the top navigation, let's add a stack H. I will name this back button. Set the width and the height to auto. And in it, we're going to add an SF symbol. I will rename this icon. For the SF symbol, let's select the chevron backward. Set the size to 17 and the size container to 24. The color is white, and for this one, set the weight to bold. Select your back button and let's add a text. Here I will remove the 2. The text is a back. The type is headline. The color is white. And make sure to set the width and the height to auto. Select your back button and we're going to add a spacer. The spacer will be right here and right below the back button. Select your top navigation and we're going to add a stack H. I will name this icons. In settings, set the gap to 10 and set the width and the height to auto. Then we're going to add an FSF symbol. Change that to icon. Set the size to 17 and the container to 24. The first one is going to be heart.fill. Set the color to white. And now let's duplicate it. And the second one is going to be square.end.arrow and select this one. I feel like the spacer is not correct, so let's delete it. To access this page, the user needs to tap on the booking card. Go back to the home screen, and here select the booking card. Access the booking card's component screen, and let's add an interaction. It's going to be a tap trigger, and for the action, select Go to Page. Here at the top, select the detail screen, and right below, we have different animations. So we have move in, scale in, push in, fade in, and scale up. I will keep it to move in from right, set the duration to 0.5, and easing to ease in and out. And then done. So let's go to preview. So by doing that, every time that you tap on any booking card, it will open the detail screen. The next step is to tap on the back button to go back. Let's go to the detail screen, and here select the back button, make it into a component. Then in interactions, let's add a tap trigger, and the action will be back to page. Duration 2.5 and ease in to ease in and out. So now let's test it. Go back to home screen, enter preview mode, and now by tapping on the card, it goes to the detail screen, and when you tap back, it goes back. Next, let's design the info rows. Right below the host container, we're going to add a stack V. I will name this the info list. And here I will set the height to auto. Inside the info list, let's add a stack H, and I will call this one info row. In settings, set a gap of 20 and the alignment center. In layout, set the height to auto. Then let's add some paddings. Top 24, right 48, bottom 24, and left 16. For the background color, we're going to add a new one. So let's rename it. It's going to be a radial. The first code is 2D, 2C, 40, and the second one is 666692. Select radial, set the center to the lower right, and this one a bit more up. Then for the color, this one is going to be 2D, 2C, 40, and the top one is going to be 666692. Don't forget to set it at 100% and save. Let's set the background color to this one, and let's add a diamond button. So in components, add a diamond button. We're going to change the background color to the 0F53E8 and the 9DDFF3 from left to right. So scroll and select this one. For the icon, search for mapping and ellipse and set the color of the icon to white. When this is done, go back to your info row and let's add a stack V. Rename this stack to the text container. Set the height to auto. In settings, set a gap of 8 and the width to fill width. Then in it, let's add a text. The text is great location. The type is headline and the color is white. While selecting the text container, let's add a second text. And this one is going to be 98% of recent guests gave the location a 5-star rating. The type is subhead 1 and the color is system gray. With that done, now that we have the visual of the gradient, select the info list, the info row, select our color, and from the preview, let's fix the color. So the goal is to have this part a little bit more at the bottom right. So let's save, and it's preview, and it looks a lot better now. With that done, make the info row into a component and duplicate it 3 more times. On the second row, let's duplicate this radiant color. And on the second one, let's change the focus to the top right. Then select the new color. Do the same thing for the third and the fourth. Let's duplicate it 2 more times. It's going to be the top left. And the fourth one, let's set this one on the bottom left. Then select the third and the fourth. The third one, let's change the positioning and we'll add it a little bit more to the left. Then change the text in the icons to these. Next, we have the offers. So select your page, add a stack V. Let's name it offers. Set the height to auto and set a padding top of 64. Let's add a text, change it to title, and the text is what this place offers. The type is Title 3 bold and the color is white. In layout, add a bottom padding of 18 and a left padding of 16. Right underneath it, we have buttons that resembles the menu buttons. So here, go to components and let's add some. But here we do not have the SF symbol and the spacer. So detach instance, and we're going to remove the spacer and the icon. On the SF symbol, set the icon to a mapping and ellipse, and the text to a mountain view. Make sure both are in system gray. Right after, let's add a menu separator. Then we're going to take the menu button and duplicate it 4 more times. And take the separator menu and add one between each menu buttons. Then we're going to change the icon and the titles. So the first one is the mountain view. The second one, let's select the icon and search for sidebar dot squares and select this one. The title is kitchen. For the third one, the icon is Wi-Fi and the text is Wi-Fi. For the third button, the icon is car and the title is free parking. For the last one is drop.fill and the title is private poll. Right after, we have a more button. Select offers and let's add a stack V. I will name this the button container. For the paddings, I will add a top of 16, right 16, and left 16. Set the height to auto. And then in it, I will add a stack V. I will name this one gradient button. Set the alignment to center. And for the paddings, add a top padding of 10 and a bottom padding of 10. The height is auto. Then in appearance, let's add a new color. Let's rename this to gradient. The first color is white. And the second one is going to be 26, 38, and 88. It's going to be a linear one from top to bottom. The top is black and set it to 0%. Select the bottom and set the code 26, 38, 88. Set it to 100% and save. Select that color. Set the corner radius to 30. In borders, add a 1 point teal at 20%. Inside the gradient button, we will add a text. So here I will change it to title. The text is show all 43 amenities. The type is subhead 2 and the color is white. Make the gradient button into a component. Right below the offers, we have the location section. Select the page and let's add a stack V. I will name it a location container. In settings, set the gap to 12. In layout, set the paddings to top 32, bottom 32, right 16, and left 16. We need to put a title, but instead of doing it from scratch, let's go to the offers container. Let's duplicate it, and then let's move it down. Make sure it is inside the location container. And here, let's change the title to where you will be. Here, I will remove the 2. Then, in the location container, I will add a stack V. Let's rename this to map card. In layout, set the height to auto. And let's add an effect, a drop shadow. Here, set the offset X to 0, offset Y to 10, blur to 20, and the color is black at 30%. Inside the map card, we're going to add the native map element. In layout, set the height to 320 point. In appearance, I will set a corner radius of 24, and it should look like this. Select your map card, and on top of the map, we're going to add a card. Add a stack V, name this card. In settings, set the gap to 20. In layout, set the height to auto. For the paddings, it's going to be 24 top, 16 right, 24 bottom, and 16 left. Set the corner radius to 24. Let's add a border, 1 point, white at 20%. For the effect, add a background blur, dark, and then to put it on top of the card, let's set the margin top to -110. So now inside the card, let's add a text. This one is going to be the title. The text is going to be Toronto, Canada. Make sure the type is Title 3, bold. The color is white. And then inside the card, let's add another text. And this time, it's going to be exact location provided after booking. The type is footnote, and the color is system gray. Go back to the card, and the third UI is a ghost button. We call this UI a ghost button because the background color is clear. So add a stack H, name this layer ghost button. In settings, set the gap to 7 and the alignment center. For the width and the height, set it to auto. Then for the paddings, add the top 11, right 20, bottom 11, and left 20. Set the corner radius to 30. And then let's add a border. Add 1 point in blue with an opacity of 20%. Inside the ghost button, let's add a text. So this one is going to be title. The text is show more. The type is subhead 2, and the color of the text is white. Right next to it, add an FSF symbol. I will name this icon. For the icon, search for chevron dot forward. Set the size to 13 and the size container to 16. The color is blue at 20%. Then select your ghost button and make it into a component. In the next section, we will have the reviews section. This one will have multiple review cards where you can swipe. Select the page, and we're going to add a stack V. Let's name it Reviews. On the layout, set the height to auto with a padding top of 32. Then in it, add a stack H, and I will name this one the review title. In settings, set the gap to 8, and in layout, add a padding left and right to 16. We're going to add an SF symbol, change the name to icon, and here search for star.fill. Set the size to 20 and the size container to 24. The color is white. Select the review title and let's add a text. Name it title. For the text, it's going to be 4.9 space a dash 1 648 reviews. The type is title 3. I will choose bold and the color is white. Then we have the card carousel. So in the reviews container, let's add a stack H. Let's name it cards. In settings, set the gap to 20 and then set paging on default and the effect to fade and scale, and paging on. In layout, let's set some paddings. The top is 20, right 16, bottom 30, and left 16. Set the height to auto. Then in it, we're going to add the review card. So add a stack V, name it review card. In layout, set the width to 280 point and the height to auto. In settings, for the padding, set it to 16. In appearance, let's set the background color to this one. 31, 3A, 5B, 21, 27, 3D. Then set the corner radius to 20 and let's add a border, 1 pixel. The color is going to be purple at 20%. Next, let's add an effect, which is a drop shadow, offset X to 0, offset Y to 10, the blur to 20, with the color black at 30%. Inside the review card, we will now add the avatar container. So let's add a stack H. Let's name it avatar container. Then in settings, set the gap to 12. In layout, set the width and the height to auto. Then inside that stack, let's add an image. I will name this avatar. Set the width and the height to 44. In appearance, set the corner radius to 32 And let's add a border, which is 1 point white at 10%. In settings, let's upload an image. Let's go to Unsplash and Portrait, and you can select any one you want. When this is done, in the avatar container, let's add a stack V. I will name this the title container. Set the width and the height to auto. Make sure that it is vertical. And in that stack, let's add a text. I will change this one to the name. In the text, we can use the placeholder and basically generate a random name. The type is going to be title 3 bold, and the color is white. Select the title container, and let's add another text. This one is the subtitle. The text is going to be 2 weeks ago. The type is footnote, and the color is system gray. When this is done, let's select the review card. Inside of component, let's add the separator menu. This one, I will set a margin top of 20. I will set a margin bottom of 20 as well. When this is done, select the review card and let's add another text. This one, I will call it description. Here, we can generate a longer paragraph. The type is subhead 1 and the color is system gray. So let's have it a little bit between the long headline and the paragraph. In layout, set the height to, let's say, 200 or maybe 180. Then select the review card. In components, let's add the ghost button. Let's add a margin top of 20. When this is done, select the review card and make it into a component. Then duplicate it 3 more times. That way we have 4 review cards. When this is done, let's go to the offers, select the button container. Let's duplicate it. And here I will move it down until it is inside of the reviews. So select the button container and place it inside over here. On the button container, let's remove the top padding. And for the button, let's change the text to show more. So now you can totally change the content of the other cards, but you can see a nice fade and scale effect. Inside of the cards, let's set the alignment to start. That way we're not wasting space. The next section is the host section. Select your page and let's add a stack V. And I will name this one host. Let's set the height to auto and the paddings to top 40, bottom 40, right 16, and left 16. For the background color, we're going to set it to this one. 31, 3A, 5B, 21, 27, 3D. When this is set, let's add a stack H. And this one, I will name it the host badges. In settings, set the distribution to space between and the height to auto. In that container, add a stack V, and this one, let's name it host container. This one will contain the host badge as well as a text. Set the width to auto and the height to auto. Then go to your components and let's add a host badge. Make sure the host badge is inside the host container. So here, move pin to none. Then select your host container and let's add a text. I will name that to title. So the first one is going to be hosted by Trang. The type is headline and the color is white. We're going to select the whole container, so the host container, and just duplicate it. We're going to select the avatar and let's change it to another one. So let's choose this one. And for the text, I will update it to co-host by Ben. With that done, go to the host and let's add a text. Here, let's change it to title. Let's change the whole text to joined since June 2011. The type is subhead 1 with the color set to white. Let's set a padding top of 20. Then add another text, and this one I will call it description. Let's change the text to Trang has received 5-star rating from 93% of recent guests. Set the type to subhead 1 and the color to system gray. In layout, let's add a padding top of 20. And when this is done, go to your components and let's add a gradient button. Set a margin top of 20 and let's change the title to contact hosts. Here you see that on the host badge, the avatar, we don't really see the borders. So instead of using this color, we're going to use white and let's put it at 20%. Similar on this one, select the avatar. On the border, select white at 20%. The last section is the rules section. And this UI is pretty simple. It is basically a list of 4 rows. So select the page. Let's add a stack V. I will call this rules. Set the height to auto and a margin top of 32. In that stack, we're going to add a stack H, and let's name this one the rule row. In settings, set the gap to 20 and the distribution to space between. In layout, set the padding top to 20, right 32, bottom 20, and the left 16. For the background, we're going to add a new one. This is a gradient. The first color is 21, 27, 3D, and the second one is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Select linear. Let's set it from left to right. For the first color, set it to 21, 27, 3D, and then save. Select the color that we just created. And in that row, we're going to add a stack V. This is for the text container. In settings, set the gap to 8, and then set the height to auto. Let's add it first text. This one, I will name it title. The text is availability. The type is going to be title 3 bold, and the color is white. Now add another text. This one is the subtitle. The text is October 23rd 26. This one is going to be subhead 1 and the color is system gray. Then select your text container, set the width to auto. On the rule row, let's add our diamond button. Here, for the background, let's add a new color. This new code is 31 3A 5B. at 70%. So for this color, set it to 31, 3A, 5B, and then set the color to 70% opacity. Then save. Select the new color, and for the SF symbol, choose the chevron dot forward. When this is done, select the rule row and make it into a component. Then duplicate it 3 more times. And now select the second one. In appearance, go to the colors, select the one that we created, and let's duplicate it. This one, we're simply switching sides for the colors, then save. So for the second row, select the second one and the fourth row as well. Now we have this effect. Make sure to change the text accordingly. With that done, you will realize that there's a weird spacing between each sections. So let's add separators. First, let's close all the big sections and then select the page and let's add a stack V. I will name it separator container. Set the height to auto and add some padding top to 32, right 16, left 16. Add a stack H, name it separator. To not confuse with the other one, I will just add horizontal. Set the width to 100 and the height to 1. In appearance, set the background color to white with an opacity of 20% and the corner radius to 20. Take this separator container and let's move it up between offers and location. Now duplicate and place one between locations and reviews. But for this one, let's remove the padding top. Then select the first one again, duplicate it, and place it between reviews and host. Duplicate one more time and place it between host and rules. And now the detail screen is done. Now, let's design a button to navigate to the next screen. So at the bottom, you can see that we have some space. So let's design a booking button. Add a stack H. I will name it booking button. We will set the height to 100 point. Set pin to bottom center. Toggle pin to page. And set the depth to 15. In appearance, scroll and let's select the info row third color. I will just modify it a little bit. And here, so we have a good contrast. Inside this stack, on the left side, we would put a V stack. I will call this one the price and the date container. In settings, set the gap to 4, and in layout, set the width to 50%. The height will be auto, and here let's add some paddings. The top is 16, right 18, bottom 16, and the left 18. In that stack, we will mainly put text. So in it, let's start with a stack H, name it price container, set the gap to 4, and width and height to auto. Let's add a text, name it to price. The text is $200 CAD. The type is going to be headline, and the color is white. Let's add another text. So here, just put it right next to it, and I will name it subtitle. This one is /night. The type is footnote, and the color is white. So it's going to look like this. Select the price and date container, and let's add another stack H. This one, I will name it the date container. Set the gap to 4 and the width and the height to auto. In that stack, add an FSF symbol. I will rename it to icon. Search for calendar. Set the size to 13, the container to 24, and then set the color to white. Right next to it, select the date container and add a text. I will name it subtitle, and the text is October 24th to 26th. Set the title to footnote and the color to white. Then, let's design the right side. Select the booking button and let's add a stack V. I will name it button container. Set the alignment to center, the width to 50%, and the height to auto. With this, maybe 100%. We're going to add a padding top of 10 and set the background color to the same one. So let's say this one. I don't really like how it looks, so let me try to fix it real quick. Okay, this is much better. So inside the button container, we're going to add a button. So add a stack V. I will name it rectangle button. Set the alignment to center, the width to 100 point, and the height to 44. For the background color, select this gradient blue. Set the corner radius to 10 with a border of 1 point white at 20%. Let's add an effect, drop shadow. Set the offset X to 0, the offset Y to 10, a blur to 20, and the color is going to be the solid navy blue, in this one, at 40%. Inside this button, let's add a text. I will call it title. The text is book. The type is headline, and the color is white. Here for the rectangle, I will set the distribution to center. We're going to make the rectangle button into a component as well as the whole booking button. And with that, we are done with the detail screen. Let's talk about the native date picker. In this last part, we will design a beautiful date picker screen where the user can select dates. So on the pages screen, let's add a new one. I will select the blank. Let's rename our page to the calendar screen. And similar to the other pages, let's go to settings. I will disable the scroll. Let's set the status bar to light. And in appearance, set the background color to 1718 2B. The top UI is in navigation. So here, let's add a stack H. Let's call it navigation. In settings, I will set the distribution to space between and the height to auto. I will add a padding right of 16. And in that stack, inside of components, let's add the back button. Then let's add a text. And I will call it the cancel button. In text, set it to cancel. The type is headline. And the color is white. Right after, we have the info container. So select your page and let's add a stack V. I will name this one Info. In settings, set the gap to 8. In layout, the height to auto. And for the paddings, I will add a top padding of 42 and a left of 16. Let's add a text. Name it title. Here the text is going to be 2-night stay. The type is title 3 bold and the color is white. Let's add another text, and this one is going to be the subtitle. For the text, I will set it to Monday, October 24th - Wednesday, October 26th. Set the type to subhead 1 and the color to system gray. When this is done, let's design the calendar container. Let's add a stack, and this stack will be named the calendar container. In layout, set the width to 90% and set the margin to top 128, right 24, bottom 24, and the left 24. Here, while selecting the page, set the alignment to center and distribution to start. So while selecting your calendar container, in appearance, set a corner radius of 20. Then let's add a border. It's going to be 1 point white at 10%. In effect, let's add a background blur, dark, and also a drop shadow. The drop shadow will have an offset X of 0, offset Y of 10, the blur to 20, and the color to black at 30%. The height, I will set it to auto. That way it will take the height of the content, and then inside of it, go to native and let's add a date picker. In calendar container, set it to center. So here I will rename it to calendar. As you can see in settings, you have multiple modes and multiple styles, and I recommend you to play with them. For the mode, we will choose the date and the style is going to be inline. For the tint, choose blue. Then in appearance, you can also set the UI style. Choose dark. If you enter preview, you can see that everything here is interactive, and you can also choose the date. To make the calendar pop more, we're going to add a background image. Select the page. In Elements, let's add an image. Rename it to a background. In Settings, select the blue blob. In Layout, set the height to 348. And we're going to pin to center. Toggle pin to page. And here you can see that it is over the calendar. So let's select our calendar container and set the depth to 20. To fill the bottom spacing, we're going to add the booking button. So select your page, in Components, search for your booking button, and let's change the text to Save. Now let's talk about interactions. First, let's go back to the detail screen. Let's select this rectangle button and let's add a tap trigger with a go to page action. Here at the top, select your calendar screen. And for the animation, I will choose the scale in from the right side. For the duration, set it to 0.5 with the ease in and out. Let's go to our calendar screen. Select the back button, and for the interactions, use a tap trigger with a back to page action. Set duration to 0.5 and ease in to ease in and out. For the cancel button and the save button, we're going to add the same action. So a tap trigger with a go to page, but this time we're going to select the home screen with a scale in, and this one is going to be from the left side, and add a duration of 0.5 with ease in and out. Now select the rectangle button, and we're going to add the same thing. So tap trigger, go to page, home screen with a scale in from the left, duration to 0.5, and ease in to ease in and out. Now let's go back to the home screen, enter preview mode, and now we have a fully functional prototype designed in Play. Everything is working, and we have beautiful interactions and animations. This is the end of the course. I hope that you enjoyed building and prototyping this beautiful app with me with Play, and I will see you on the next one.